Glad you're riding along with us for Shoot Around. And over the last handful of days on this show, we've been taking you to rodeos everywhere. Now, sure, Katie Lucas and I have been right here in our Cowboy Channel studios with you this entire time, but a big part of our Cowboy Channel broadcast team and our analysts, they have literally been everywhere.
Steve Kenyon is also on site in Livingston, Montana. Steve, tell me a little bit about what you love about Livingston over the 4th of July.
Well, I've spent the last 26 4th of Julys, except for the COVID year, in Livingston, Katie. This has been one of those rodeos I've had the privilege of announcing forever. And the crowds are always big. The community is beautiful. If you've never been to Livingston, Montana, you're right at the mouth of Yellowstone Park. You're like an hour away from Yellowstone, just a quick drive south, and you're there. And so we get a lot of people who come to Yellowstone for the 4th of July, come to the rodeo. The crowds are different every night. They're always, this committee has done a great job of increasing the added money. The folks here have continued to improve their facilities. There's just a lot to like about this rodeo. The last 3 nights have been really good performances, and we're looking forward to another great one tonight on the fly. The rodeo's been fantastic so far, and we'll see what comes of tonight, because there are some really interesting opportunities and some interesting in all of the events.
Yeah, Steve, you told me because of that added money, we're seeing some top-tier pro rodeo names like Shane Hanchey in the tie-down roping tonight.
Well, and Shane's had a really good 4th of July. He just won Pinoca over $19,000. A lot of the people who have really big 4th of July money won. That's really bad grammar, but you know what I'm getting at there. They start by doing well in Pinoca. That's exactly what Shane did. He's placing at 2 or 3 rodeos right now. He and Bugsy are having a full day today. They're working Cody, Red Lodge, and then coming to Livingston, 3 rodeos in one day. But if Shane Hanchey, he was not in the top 15 or was right on the fringe of the top 15 when the 4th of July run started. ProRodeo.com. He's 3rd in the world now, trying to get to a 17th national finals rodeo. So, yeah, I mean, Hanchey's had big 4th of Julys before. I remember 2 or 3 years ago, he entered 8 rodeos, placed at 7 of them. This was the only one he didn't place at, but he's going to come into town looking to put the capper on a big 4th of July weekend.
Steve, I love getting the opportunity to work with you here in our Cowboy Channel studios, but I also love listening to you live announcing rodeos, especially during the opening ceremonies. And on a night like tonight, the 4th of July, 250-year anniversary of the United States of America, what is it going to mean to you to be at the helm there in Livingston?
Well, this is an interesting, really good question, Katie, because here in Livingston, as we get ready to enjoy this 4th of July night tonight, you know, I've been thinking about this for a long time. What am I going to say as we get ready to bring in the American flag on the night of America's 250th anniversary? And we've got a wonderful video that actually has sound bites from several presidents that we play prior to the presentation of the flag. But this audience, you know, I ask a question a lot. Are you proud to be an American? And you get an overwhelming response to that question from this audience here at the Livingston Roundup. And I don't know exactly what I'm going to say. I'm going to talk a little bit about the greatness of our country. I'm going to talk a little bit about the greatness of our Declaration of Independence. But these people, they all know why we're here. They all know the significance of today, how lucky we are to be alive at this time in our lives when the 250th anniversary of this great nation has rolled around. And so it'll be fun to see. Katie, you know me. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to say, but I hope it's good. I hope it's something that people can relate to and appreciate.
Hey, well, Steve, whatever it is, I know you are going to make it a very special day in Livingston. Good luck with your performance tonight, and thanks for checking in with us.
Katie, thank you. Of course, you can join us on Cowboy Plus all night long and around. We're looking forward to it.
Well, another one of our colleagues here at Cowboy Channel that you see from time to time here on the network is Corey Keith. He's one of the announcers, of course, calling the action at rodeos all across the country, but here over Cowboy Christmas on the 4th of July, it's got him at Kilder Mountain Roundup in Kilder, North Dakota. Corey, thanks for taking time to visit with us today. I know you're pretty busy up there.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me. What a time of year, though. This is every cowboy's dream, just to be a part of a 4th of July rodeo. And you guys have been in the thick of it, too. Everyone has come up to me this week and just they've been so appreciative of what the Cowboy Channel has done to put rodeo inside their living rooms. So it's pretty cool to see everything that's going on this week.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, we've got a whole slew of folks, as you well know, working pretty hard to be able to bring all this broadcast television and, of course, on our Cowboy Channel app as well to all of our viewers. Corey, what's special about Kilder, North Dakota? It's a great rodeo. I mean, yeah, there's been some huge scores in the rough stock events. We may talk about that in a second, but what's special about that town and that community in Kilder?
Well, you know, for 103 years, they've been putting on a rodeo in this town. And I think one of the most unique things about it is the people, because just the other day, there was an issue in the rodeo office. There was something broken, and some lady in town found out about it. And she approached one of the committee members and said, "Let me know how much it's going to cost to build a new rodeo office. I'll write you a check." And I think that's the kind of community that you think of when you think of rodeo. The whole town comes together, all these farmers and ranchers that have been a part of this their entire life, some of them multi-generation now, of just wanting to come watch a rodeo. They just step up to the plate when there's a need. Someone is always there ready to answer the call. And I think that's one thing we need to point out about Kilder, North Dakota. But something else is cool. It's a little old school, Ty. The people sit on the side of the hills. They even have a spot where vehicles can park up there. For the older people that may not want to get out of their vehicles, they can sit inside their vehicle the entire time and watch the rodeo. And then there's people sitting on the hill just below them. So it kind of gives that old school vibe, if you know what I mean.
I love that. You're exactly right. I see it when we throw into you guys here on Shoot Around when we go to your rodeo performance. Corey, I want you to explain real quick before we let you go, because you mentioned earlier about the rodeo committee there. They do so many things to try to help these contestants. Them, along with Mandan, North Dakota, are two of those rodeos that are somewhat close to each other, but Kilder is big about changing the order of their events to try to help the contestants get to both rodeos in the same night, the same performance. That's pretty awesome that Kilder does that.
It is, and this year it changed. Mandan started earlier. Now remember, Mandan, this is where it gets confusing. Mandan is on Central Time. Kilder is on Mountain Time. So Mandan is starting at 6:30 our time. 5:30 our time. So that gives the bareback riders an extra hour to make it to us. So if they ride in that first section at Mandan, they have a 2-hour drive to make it to Kilder, North Dakota. Now, there are some cowboys that tend to drive fast. I'm not going to throw out any names, but Carson Hildry needs to slow down, according to the police officers of Kilder, North Dakota. But he did make it to the rodeo last night. And, of course, here in his home state, everybody was excited to see him. And that's all because these committees are working together.
Well, the thing is, if you can make a big score and win a bunch of money at Kilder, you can pay for that speeding ticket. It's no big deal. Corey, we're gonna let you get back to rodeo action. I know you're trying to get ready there, but thanks for joining us here on the show today. We appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you. And just for the record, there's no speeding ticket. It was just a verbal warning. He's good to go. I don't know where he's at tonight, but I'm sure he made it there just fine.
Well, we even have one of our friends of the Cowboy Channel north of the border right now. Janie Johnson has been at the Calgary Stampede for the last couple days. And Janie, in just 2 days of action at Calgary, there's been a lot to talk about.
Oh my goodness, Katie, you could go on. We need like a whole hour on this show to recap everything that's happened at Calgary. And the best part is that we're only 2 days in. We have a lot of rodeo left to go. And it's the most fun though, because it feels like round 3 of each pool is like a wild card in itself. Anything can happen. Only 3 people are going to move on out of each event. It's so much fun.
Yeah, make sure you catch Calgary again for round 3 of Pool A tomorrow afternoon. But for now, let's talk about the last couple days and the repeat champions that have really started to separate themselves from the pack.
Well, you know, they say it in rodeo, when you're hot, you're hot. And you see that a lot throughout Cowboy Christmas. People seem to keep winning if they're on a winning role, and that's kind of start off with Calgary. In the bareback riding, I mean, of course, Garrett Shadbolt. He's already won $14,000. He had hip surgery earlier in the year, and this is kind of back. And, you know, you'd think he'd be in a bit of a panic mode because he's 32 in the world standings right now. But, you know, $14,000 added to that, and we're at the very beginning of Calgary, he's going to keep climbing. So he's been the guy to watch in the bareback riding, but we've seen it in a lot of other events as well. Haven Medjid in the tie-down roping, Brown in the steer wrestling, and then it seems like the other events are kind of wide open, which makes it exciting in a different way.
Yeah, it has been exciting. You in the barrel racing, it's easy to see and hear your excitement as you get the opportunity to commentate throughout those runs. But let's first start talking about Emily Beisel. She had to deal with a lot of adversity before she ever got to Calgary.
Oh my, Katie, I talked to Emily Beisel up at the hospitality tent actually right before round 1, and I talked to her all about her wreck. She was nauseous for quite a while. She doesn't remember a lot of what happened. She only remembers Andrea Busby, who was about to run, getting off of her horse and coming over to help her. Huge. And then she had to get up, wake up, and get on a plane to fly straight to Calgary Stampede, which was extremely stressful. She's planned on running Ollie. She loves that horse. She thinks he'd do well in the setup, and he's got that little bit of extra it's going to take to win first at Calgary. She just wasn't feeling at her best to try out Ollie. He is such a strong and powerful horse. She felt more safe, a little bit more trusting with Chongo because the old veteran. Now that horse doesn't look easy to ride either, but that's who she decided to go with round 1. They hit a barrel. Chongo looked great, but today when she decided to go, I thought, you know what, Emily Beisel must be feeling better. She got a good night's sleep. She's got healed up a little bit. And Ollie didn't disappoint. He was awesome, and I think she's going to run him again in round 3. And, you know, the thing we all know about Emily is she knows how to pull a Hail Mary when it really counts, so I'd be looking out for her to be moving on in the barrels.
Yeah, I'm really excited for day number 3 of Pool A, but what are you most excited for? You've got a lot of days left in your stay at the Calgary Stampede. What should we look out for maybe later in the week?
Well, talking barrel racing, if we're going to stick with that, Pool C is absolutely stacked. I mean, we're talking the Titans in the barrel race. We've got Cassie Mowry, Haley Kinsel, all the best of the best. But, you know, you just never really know. The thing about Calgary is each individual makes it fun, makes it exciting, but the money is where it really separates. To be able to qualify here is huge. It can completely change a season. It can change a race. Of course, I love the saddle bronc riding, but the breakaway roping's been great. I mean, I could just go on and on. There's a lot of specifics. I'm excited to see Anita here at Calgary, you know, after everything that she's had to overcome and having an awesome start to her season, to come back here to get to defend that title. I'm excited to see her. You know, the bronc riding, I keep going back to the bronc riding. Stetson Wright is obviously such a story that we've already seen kind of unfold, and we've experienced the ups and downs from him winning the round to him bucking off in round 2. I wouldn't be surprised if he comes back and wins round 3. He's doing awesome in the bull riding, so that's great. It's awesome to see back up in Canada. You know, they haven't come to Calgary the past couple of years, and I think they've missed it.
Janie, it is just safe to say you are a big fan of the Calgary Stampede. No matter what event, no matter what you're talking about, you are a huge fan of that rodeo. Thanks so much for taking the time to recap some of your favorite moments so far, and happy 4th of July, my friend.
Thanks, Katie. It's the greatest outdoor show on earth. Of course I'm excited, and happy 4th of July. I love watching everything you're doing on the Cowboy channel, so have fun shooting around.
And we have loved the Calgary Stampede broadcast over the last couple days. As Janie said, there's so much to talk about, and we're just 2 days into the greatest outdoor show on earth. There's a lot to talk about today, though, as we celebrate the 4th of July in the best way we know how.
Boy, isn't it the truth? Celebrating 250 years to celebrate this great country in the United States of America. I'll tell you about a guy who's pretty proud about this day and the 4th of July. That is our colleague, Justin McKee. Many of you know he spent last week at the White House helping celebrate the Freedom Rodeo and the Freedom 250. From there, he left and went to St. Paul, which has been his home for the 4th of July over the last so many years, as he is one of the announcers there. Let's get a little update from Justin McKee in St. Paul, Oregon.
Hey, thank you guys. It's a crazy busy day here at the St. Paul Rodeo in Oregon, little bitty town, 400 people and a massive attendance. Always 6 performances sell out. This year, they've got people stacked everywhere. The competition, always, it's great. This is the largest 4th of July rodeo. Freedom Week rodeo is what I'm calling it now. The payout is extraordinary. The weather is spectacular. The Willamette Valley is one of the most gorgeous places that I have ever traveled. It is a spectacular farming community that really is a centerpiece of American agriculture. But aside from the competition, the real story here is it's the 4th of July, and I am just inspired at the highest level in my patriotism because of what I saw all week, starting in Washington, D.C., now in St. Paul. But the parade this morning before the first performance, and there's a night performance coming up tonight, was spectacular. And it was not just what I saw in terms of floats, but they started the parade with 250 American flags. And the attendance pushing 15,000 people at the parade. So it was inspiring to see all these kids that were all red, white, and blue and proud of America, and families coming together, the community coming together at the highest level. And it takes a real effort of unity for a little bitty town to put on a ginormous event like this. In terms of the competition, we do have some great storylines coming out of St. Paul. And one of those storylines is Will Loomis, the four-time reserve world champion, has been absent from the top 25, absent from the top 35. He hasn't even been in the top 40, but he's put two great runs together. Tyler Wagaspack right on his heels. And we also have Riley Webb continuing his amazing year with two fabulous runs in 7. That's going to be tough to beat. And then young Noah Lee, the 18-year-old bull rider who is leading for rookie now, number 3 in the world, 89 points on Humboldt from Sankey and Phenom Genetics. This guy looks unstoppable. We need to start him in the conversation for the World Championship, perhaps. So the hits just keep on coming. The strawberry shortcake is extraordinary. It's even better on the 4th of July in St. Paul. So with that said, guys, back to the studio. Thanks for letting me share a little bit of one of the most spectacular and beautiful celebrations of America's birthday from St. Paul, Oregon.
You know one thing, Ty, that he has not shared is that strawberry shortcake.
Tired
He
of hearing
will
about
not
it.
overnight a piece to us.
I am tired of hearing about it. I wish we wouldn't even have showed you that. I wish we wouldn't even have broadcast it, because now I want strawberry shortcake even more.
Our whole night is ruined.
That's right.
Except maybe because we've got lots of great rodeo action. That'll turn things around.
Okay,
for
that'll
us.
be better.
Okay, sounds good. That's what we're going to get to on the other side of this break. A lot of rodeos are going on right now, and we're going to bring them all to you on Shoot Around, presented by CINCH.
CINCH continues here on Cowboy Channel for our 3rd night. We've been having a lot of fun bringing you lots of rodeo action. Of course, you can check it out on your Cowboy Plus app. One of these rodeos, you're like, man, my favorite contestant's up tonight in the saddle bronc riding. Well, the good news is, if you got the Cowboy Plus app, you can watch that exact rodeo as we welcome you back inside of our studios here in Fort Worth, Texas, right in the heart of the stockyards. By the way, right here in the stockyards and probably all across this country, any moment now, fireworks are going to start going off. I bet we hear them inside this studio. They usually put on a pretty big show here in the stockyards.
Usually on our drive home from this show, too, we get treated to a beautiful fireworks show. They're celebrating Shoot Around wrapping up for us,
I think that's what it is. Surely that's at least what we think it is. Hey, we're going to take you to Prescott, Arizona. That's the world's oldest rodeo. They have 2 performances today. They just wrapped up an afternoon performance just before we started this live broadcast. They'll have another performance later on this evening. We may get a little bit of it because of the time change. We don't get much of the night perf, but let's take you to this afternoon's performance. It's old school team roping because they both come out of the same box on the team roping side. Let's get into the team roping from earlier this afternoon.
Here's a team that is capable as well. Could blow them all out of the water. I need help for the man on the heel side. Look it. Boy, that was a good-looking run. It is 7.7. Prescott, they just went to the number 2 spot overall in the go-round. Good job on that run.
We'll go to Morristown, Arizona's Jack Fisher, and Springville, Utah's Scott Lauke. Oh, we got a good start. Now get under there, Scott. Beautiful loop. He scooped, pulls it tight. Nice. It is 8-1, 8-1.
Tell you what, Prescott, you're looking at some of the best roping we have seen all week. Let's just keep it up. Jack Fisher is an Arizona Cowboy from Morristown. Went to the Turquoise Circuit Finals, cashed in for some pretty good money. No, we're going to change it around. All right, let's go to Clay and Peterson. The next pair set, they got him to the end of that rope in the dally, but it's all good. They're roping. They are roping. It is 7.5. Clay and Peterson out here today. Nice job.
Now we're going to go to Smith and Payne. Clay Smith, Colby Payne, Broken Bow, Oklahoma, Stephenville, Texas. Now Clay Smith sitting number 44 in the world, an odd place for him to be for the 11-time Wrangler National Finals qualifier and the 2-time world champion on the heading side. And Colby Payne on the heeling side. This could be quick. Fastest time we've seen is a 7.2. Just pay attention to them because they are no slouches. Nice shot. Look at that. Oh, they've done some things, and they're doing it again. Number one in the round. 6.7 seconds.
All right. Beautiful job. They are roping them today. Here comes Luke Brown. I'd like to tell you it's going to get not so good, but it's going to get better. Luke Brown, 16 trips to the Wrangler National Finals. 3 times he won the most coveted buckle in the world, and that is the Wrangler NFR title. His partner, Hunter Cook, 4-time NFR, is a Canadian champ. Headshot's good. They're a long ways down, but they want a solid run, and they got it. Looking for the solid run. They got it at 10-7 for Brown and Cook, 10-7.
You back out, Justin?
Oh, so I went down there.
Uh-huh.
I've been in the Buckle Club. I went down there. We don't give enough love to everybody on the end of the grandstand. Y'all doing good on the very end down there. Round of applause. And I've seen a lot of patriotic jean shorts.
Patriotic jean shorts?
Yes.
Okay, I thought I heard that wrong.
No, just jean shorts.
Okay. Eric Martin and Stony Fred, Aurora, Colorado, and Whitman, Arizona.
You're not even going to ask him what patriotic jean shorts are?
Probably best you don't.
Probably not. They're the co-champions of Steamboat Springs and One Hugo, Oklahoma. Oh! Had to duck and dive to get out of the way of that one. Unfortunately, going to be in no time.
But I will say this. Every year on the 4th of July, we always point out the mullets. You know, we always have them pull the hair out, shake out the mullets, do that whole thing. Not today. We're going to do it different. Today on this 4th of July, I want you to stand up. I want to see all the bald guys at the rodeo. Bald guys, stand up and show us the bald guys in here today. That's patriotic. Yes.
This is Hutchins and Scarborough, the Utah duo. Put it at a +5 on their time. Going to be a 12-7, 12-7 with the 5.
So the final team that is going to go for the afternoon, younger brother in the Smith family. You watched his older brother, Clay. This is Jake Smith, who in the last few years has come on like a gangbuster. Douglas Rich, 3 trips to the national finals himself, 2 for the man on the head. Shot a 5-second penalty, 1 hind foot. Smith and Rich, 12-5 for the pair.
We see the end of that replay. Brought to you by Tri-State Metal Roofing Supply. We switch over to the Haley Construction standings. In round number 1, Smith and Payne at the top spot with a 6 and 7. James and Brown still with a 7 and 2. And Clay.
That's a look at the team roping and what took place just not too long ago from Prescott, Arizona. Of course, Randy Corley and James Orcasitas calling the action there at the world's oldest rodeo in Prescott, Arizona. There's a look at your leaders right now. Ben Kramer has the lead in the bareback riding. They've got another performance tonight, so a lot of those timed event guys that you just saw in that team roping, they'll be competing in round 2 tonight because the timed events is 2 head. All the rough stock and the barrel racing, of course, is all just on 1, but they'll continue even tomorrow before they close it out there in Prescott, Arizona.
And don't forget, Ty, we saw Clay Smith and Colby Payne make a great run there. Back in 2022, a freak barrier accident actually broke Clay Smith's leg there in Prescott. So I think it's kind of a bittersweet rodeo for him. I'd be a little nervous backing in the box there, but like I said, it was a freak accident with the barrier wrapping around his leg and actually breaking 2 bones in his leg. He made a heck of a comeback throughout the rodeo season, was actually roping with an air cast on. It was really fun story to follow for us watching at home. But we're carrying on down the rodeo trail here on Shoot Around. The breakaway roping has been so electric in Mandan, and there's one performance to go this afternoon. Samantha Fulton and Jade Mitchell were leading the way with the 2 and 2. Let's recap the afternoon and see what the ladies got done.
Well, solid run. They're good at the barrier. How about a round of applause for your brand new leader? How about a 2.1 for that cowgirl? Yeah. Oklahoma goes to the top. Shaylee Optendahl will be next. Hayesville, Utah lady. Now the pressure's on. I told you it's going to be good. Some superstar talent here tonight in the breakaway roping. If Shaylee can get in, get some money. Now we got to be better than 2-1. Nicely done by the Utah cowgirl. 2.7. Coming in 2.7 for Shaylee. Hayden Thompson. Kilder, Wyoming. Next to work for us. This breakaway roping has exploded in professional rodeo. The need for performance horses has as well. Talking about the animal athlete, the caliber of horses these ladies ride. They don't come cheap. I guarantee you that. Kilder, Wyoming cowgirl, Hayden Thompson. Great start, great throw, great catch. Please tell me we're clean at the barrier. I believe we are. How about a 2-second flat run and a brand new leader? Unbelievable. This breakaway rope is getting pretty intense here tonight, but don't count the money yet. Not till this lady is run. Martha Angeloni, Texas Circuit champion, another world champion breakaway roper. Look at this, Martha. Uh-oh. Broken barrier. 2.2. Well, add 10 will make her a 12 and 2. Folks, she wears a gold buckle as a world champion in this event. How about giving her a little love here tonight? Just did not go her way. Jeremy Jackson. Dylan Montana. Everybody chasing Hayden Thompson now with that 2 flat. No holds barred tonight. It's cross the line, let it fly. Go fast or go home. Well, a tough break for Laramie, no time. Got a great second-generation talent right here. Haley Williams, Comanche, Texas, you're about to meet. One of the very best, as I told you earlier. Multiple qualifications to the national finals breakaway rope it. Hi, Haley.
Her dad, one of the greatest team ropers of all time. Haley following right along in his footsteps. One of the top talents in this breakaway competition. Zero room for error. You got to be too flat or quicker. Come on, Haley, reach and throw and no. Tonight, no time. All right, Jill Tanner. Still another great, outstanding all-around talent. Her and her husband, Jimmy, one of the great team ropers of our decade as well. Jill, multi-talented lady. You're about to meet, she's a barrel racer, team roper, breakaway roper. Michigan Fix Fence, Paul Hay, too. He's a cowgirl. All right, Jill. Oh, boy, send it out there, try to let it lay. Make it pay, and it did not
Well,
work.
I said it was a pair of 2.2-second runs that were leading the way in Mandan. That was before the performance that just wrapped up. Hayden Thompson, your reigning Rookie of the Year in the breakaway roping, 2 flat. What a run, Ty. Congratulations to her.
That girl's been doing that a lot this season. That's the reason she's having such a good year. We'll just have to see if she can make her first ever national finals rodeo. She's looking pretty good and on track right now to maybe have that chance. Stay with us on Shoot Around. We're going to check back in with our saddle bronc riders that we're kind of traveling around with. We'll do that here in just a little while, so be sure you come back. There's our summer rodeo run. You can catch every bit of it on Cowboy Plus. Don't forget about the 20% off code. That lasts this whole month of July. Use that code at the top of your screen, CIJ 2026. That stands for Christmas in July 2026, and you'll get 20% off Cowboy Plus. You need that, folks, to show everything that we're doing here at Cowboy Channel. We'll be back. You see the rodeos we're covering. There's lots more to cover. Stay with us.
I got on a nice one. I was good as 88. Got second, so.
Yeah. And yeah, I was 82 and a half. I thought I was going to throttle the horse, but the horse kind of throttled me there at the end. But hey, that's right. Yeah, on to the next one. And got some good ones here in Cody. So yeah, we're ready to roll. Pow, pow.
There they are. You just heard from them. They were getting close to Cody. Now there's kind of the photo finishes. They're literally making their way in. You see they got their hats off? That's because the opening ceremonies was taking place when they walked into that performance at Cody. So yeah, we're going to jump back in with them here in just a moment when they're riding Broncs. I love that Damian can kind of laugh about it. That's the kind of attitude you got to have in rodeo, right? Brody Wells won second at the rodeo, so of course he's excited and happy. Damian, as he said, he almost lost his life in a joking way because he got bucked off pretty hard there right at the end of it at the whistle. That 82, it might have got him a small check out of there, but it was going to be at the very bottom. But I love the idea that he had there, that he can laugh about it, and it's on to the next one.
Well, and Ty, you noticed that their hats were off when they were walking in because the opening ceremonies were happening, but I noticed their hats were on when they were driving because did you see in Damian's passenger seat there was no headrest behind him, so you could keep your cowboy hat on.
I know all about that because my dad has to take his headrest out of his Dodge pickup because exactly that. Your hat hits the back and it's pretty uncomfortable, but I don't know how safe it is if you get in a wreck. But anyway, let's not worry about that. Why don't we just check in and see how they did just moments ago at Cody, Wyoming. Of course, Boyd Polhemus and Cade Rogge call all the action there. Let's get into the bronc riding.
The saddle bronc riding. C5 brings us the horse, Shattered Lunatic. Come on, Gus. Boy, that's a nice horse. That horse is the kind everybody wants to draw, the kind everybody wants to get on. They'll drive 1,000 miles. They'll drive 1,000 miles to get on that one. And how about this marking? 87 and a half for Gus. So he beats the score by 1.5 points the last time he got on that bucking horse. Nice ride, Cowboy, nice ride. Ace Cody Hardware is where we're going now. Anything you need, they got it. Hardware, paint, rentals. The man inside is a cowboy called Garrett Verlick from Rapid City, South Dakota. Hello, Badlands. The horse is from Mobetta. They call him Shasta Sam. Shasta Sam underneath the Badlands Bronc rider. Remember the markout rule, just like the bareback riding. Half the score comes from the horse, the other half from the cowboy. Let's do it, Garrett.
Montana Circuit King.
So he wins the battle, but loses the war. 65 points. Will not get him any pocket cash. Give the Rapid City kid a little encouragement. He'll keep on going. On to the next one, old son. On to the next one.
All right, let's test these leaderboards again. That's what I'm ready for. Sean Too-Tall Calhoun, Pickup Man of the Year, shows Shasta Sam the exit. Well, maybe.
This guy's a superstar in the making, folks. Coleman Schallbetter, Gunnison, Colorado. Top 4 in the Rookie of the Year on a horse called Brush Popper. Guys have trouble marking this horse out. He's been out 3 times, 2 missouts and an 82.5. The Irma. That's another bucket list stop. Buffalo Bills Hotel. Come on, Coleman. Southpaw Bronc rider. And you know he's a stud. Anybody who wears a black shirt in 90-degree weather is a stud. We're looking at 81.5, Cade, and that's not going to move the needle. 86 is splitting 6th and 7th. So just to get in the top 7, you got to be 86 points.
All right, I got a matchup that can do it, though. I got a matchup that could go all the way. I've been excited about this since I put my pen to the paper. Logan Hay, Wildwood, Alberta, 2 times to the Wrangler National Finals. This kid's dad went 20. 17th in the world a year ago. Did not set well with Logan Hay. 87 points in Corpus Christi. And he's got the bucking horse of Mobetta called High Pockets. This horse has a trick, too.
Ooh.
13-5. This horse has stats like a bucking bull. 13 outs and only 5 qualified rides. Yeah, but this kid from Canada that comes from legendary bloodlines is exciting.
When you get the blues, come on, get a rhythm. When you get the blues, get a rock and roll feeling in your bones.
Well, it runs in the blood of the family. His dad, Rod, 20 times the NFR. His uncle, Denny. His younger brothers, Dawson and Devin. If you can't ride bucking horses, you can't come home at Thanksgiving in the Hay family. High Pockets, hard to ride. Oh, go ahead. Logan Hay. Oh, if you know good bronc riding, you should be going crazy right now because that guy just put on a great bronc ride.
Hey,
that was Ben?
Yeah.
That was Ben Anderson. I don't care who it was. It was an outstanding ride. Scores coming in.
You're going to like it, everybody. 86.5 for Ben Anderson. And now, Boyd, your guess is as good as mine.
Well, we got a horse that turned around backwards in the bucket chute. So this horse has to be a right-hand delivery. You wouldn't want to take a horse going to the left like that anyway. He'd run your knee into the post the minute the gate started to crack open. So the goal is to use these two bucket chutes together to give this horse enough space to move his butt back to the west. And we get him turned back around where he's supposed to stand. Oh!
Just take those old records off the shelf. I sit and listen to them by myself.
Oh!
Today's music ain't got the same
A little old-time rock and roll.
I like that old timer.
Come on.
Try to take me to it. You'll never even get me out on the floor. In 10 minutes I'll be late for the door. I like that old timer.
Hey, can I just say, America only turns 250 one time? Come on, everybody loosen up a little bit today.
In their defense, there's some kids here that have never heard that song. Okay?
Okay.
Fair?
And all you do is get a vision of Tom Cruise sliding across the kitchen in his underwear.
Have you ever tried that?
Sliding across the kitchen in my underwear?
Yeah.
No, I can tell you I haven't.
That'd be fun, wouldn't it? Can you imagine? Okay. Did you just get the same mental picture I
Yeah,
did?
thank you for that.
You're welcome. Boyd in his whitey-tighty skidding across the linoleum.
I don't wear whitey tights.
I'm sorry. It was a guess.
No, it's the wrong guess. I don't know. You know, sometimes it's boxers, sometimes it's briefs. It just depends.
Oh, I'm a creature of habit.
Yeah, I'm sure it was the latter of those three.
I'm a Duluth man all the way. Okay, so they're telling me to roll. I think it's Sage Newman in that buck and shoot number one, Boyd.
Yeah, it sure looks like him. The Irma. Rides like him. Come on, y'all, make some noise. Montana's in the house. That's a horse from Obetta called Playmaker. What do you say, gang? You got a little noise? Heads up. Great ride, great score. 84 and a half for Sage Newman, the number 5 man in the world.
All right, so about time to get in the meat and potatoes of this saddle bronc ride. We go to an Aussie Cowboy, 2022 Resist All Rookie of the Year. Started in high school as a rugby star. Now he's one of the best saddle bronc riders in the world. He's a $1 million man by the name of Denny and Brandon. Timex, the name of the bucking horse, Mo Betta. Hey, they were 87 and a half on this horse here a year ago with Rider Right. And this kid can class one up. Watch this.
We can't hear you. Well, we saw it again. We saw it again. Another good ride, but just not enough to get into the big money.
Exactly. 83 points for Demo. 83. And again, that's money everywhere else, but Cody Stampede, you got to go above and beyond if you want to be a champion on the 4th of July. Come on, everybody. That kid is headed for a gold buckle this year. I can feel it. Somebody tell him thanks for coming to Cody.
So, how many of y'all are fans of the movie Tombstone? All right. I want to hear Cade's best rendition of Val Kilmer.
You're not going to get it
Come
today,
on, man.
I do too.
I'm your Huckleberry.
Uh-huh.
This is a horse called Huckleberry. And Brody Wells, who was just 85 and a half at Oakley, he's from Wyoming. Oh, wait. He's from Powell, Wyoming. He's number 14 in the world. He's been to the last 2 NFRs. Come on, Brody. Come on, Brody. Made the finals at the Snake River Stampede. He scored 88.5 in Nampa, but it's only going to be 76 in Cody.
Well, you had me fired up. I thought the money was on the table and the bullets were in the gun. Yeah, a lot of lead changes with that horse. You watch the front end, a little bit of everywhere, kind of hard to track. I'm your Huckleberry. See, I told you it wasn't very good.
It's good. I'm your Huckleberry. What was the other line? Well, Johnny Ringo, you look like you just stepped over your grave. Woodward, Tractor and Rental. Where you want to go with this guy? Oh, he's been on fire. It's a rematch. He had this horse at the National Finals Rodeo, scored 85. He was 86.5 in St. Paul, Oregon this week already. Hugh Taylor, Nanton, Alberta, Canada. Breezy Fling, the Big Buxton. Oh, look at this. Oh, come on, y'all. It's the classic event, and that was a classic ride.
Yeah, get this, everybody. We're going to be writing Q Taylor check 87.5 points.
I'm king of the mountain.
For the Canadian.
I just have to
Ladies and
say, the
gentlemen,
rough stock action that we have
made
seen
history.
over this 4th of July has just been second to none. What a round of saddle bronc riding once again. Unfortunately, our bronc riders that we've been following along the 4th of July road with, they didn't do so well in Cody, weren't super happy with how things shook out there, but hey, they've got one more to go tonight.
They do. They still got Livingston, Montana later on this evening, and we're going to be following them as they head to Livingston. So there is so much more coming your way, and we invite you to stay with us here on Shoot Around because we're just kind of getting rolling. We're not even half done yet. And, of course, the bull riding, it took place there at Cody just moments ago. And we want to tell you about some huge rides in the bull riding. Now, they might not have jumped all the way to the top spot, but they're going to get some big numbers and some big money out of there. You're looking at TJ Gray, 84 points for the man that is inside the top 15 in the world. He's 13th in the world standings. Remember, he's last year's NFR average champion. That's a good look at TJ. But here's a guy who sits number 10 in the world.
Yeah, Colton Byram has truly been having a great season and picked up a big check there for an 85-point effort. Great ride for him, but Sage Kimsey, we also told the story last night. He has been entering rodeos over the 4th because he wanted his kids to have an opportunity, now that they're a little older, to experience what the 4th of July run is like for our rodeo cowboys. And at 89 points, you might think that's number one at this event, but it is not.
No, it's not. It's going to end up third at Cody, Wyoming in the Cody Stampede. That guy, Tristan Hutchins, is 91 points from a couple of nights ago. That is a great National Finals Rodeo Buck and Bull from the Frontier Rodeo string called Frontier Coffee. Tristan Hutchins, number one in the world standings. But here's the thing, Katie. That was a really good 91-point ride, but it was not the only 91-point ride in Cody.
Yeah, he is not alone at the top of the leaderboard. Rookie Noah Lee has been on an absolute tear this year, and he drew Frontier Rodeo's Carmen for a matching 91-point score. And Ty, we talk about just how important this 4th of July run is. Get this payout, $10,313 for each of their 8-second efforts. You know that is going to have huge impact in the standings.
That's why you've heard us talk about it for the last 3 nights on this show about how these big paying rodeos like Cody, Wyoming over the 4th of July. There's a look at all of your champions at the Cody Stampede. Folks, that 4-way tie in the breakaway roping, I just want to mention, They're all named Williams. They're not kin. We shared this news with you last night. It stayed that way. That is going to be a fun story for us to cover. Hopefully we'll get to cover it and maybe visit with all those ladies next week. Shorty Garrett, we talked about him earlier in the show. There, he's getting a big win at the Cody Stampede. So congratulations to all the champs. And yeah, you're exactly right. Not only Cash Rob getting a big check there, the world champs, Caleb and Junior getting a big check in the team roping. When you look at this on ProRodeo.com, the amount of money that they pay out is huge in Cody.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what the standings look like pre-4th of July and then post-4th of July when we hit Western Sports Roundup on Monday or Tuesday, when all of the numbers start to come in and finalize for us. But man, some big paydays at the Cody Stampede, but a big day for our saddle bronc riders that we've been tracking throughout this evening on Shoot Around. At first, they were in Red Lodge, Montana. They drove 65 miles to Cody, Wyoming. Now they're going to fly the 180 miles to Livingston, Montana for one more shot at the 4th of July. Stay with us on Shoot Around. Team ropers have already competed at one rodeo or headed over to Basin City tonight. Riley Webb, he'll also compete in Basin City, Washington, as will Tristan Hutchings. We just announced he just won the Cody Stampede with that whopper of a 91-point ride. Tyler Wagasback is hanging out in Malala tonight. Riley Webb, you can see him down there. He started in Eugene, moved his way up to Washington. And then Cody has played host tonight to the great Cassie Mowry. So now you know where in the world our #1 contestants are. So exciting to watch them throughout this Cowboy Christmas time. Riley Webb truly is on a roll. He is on track to potentially earning about $40,000 if everything can hold and he can continue on this roll over the 4th of July. We're moving our way along shoot around right now. I'm going to move back over to my pal, Ty McClary. Ty, Command Central is starting to get a little messy. I see you've kind of adjusted and fixed up your part of the desk here. Mine's getting messier and messier all the time, but that's because we're living in the chaos that is the 4th of July.
We certainly are, and we're doing our best to share it with you Cowboy Channel fans out there that are watching here on Shoot Around. Reminder, any of these rodeos all night long that we share with you, they're all available on your Cowboy Plus app. That's why we continue to tell you about the Cowboy Plus app for you to be able to watch your favorite contestant. She was just talking about Riley Webb. If Riley's your favorite contestant and you want to watch him, tune into the Cowboy Plus app. Those rodeos up there in the far northwest that he's competing at tonight, you can cheer him on right there. Of course, Stetson Wright, the #1 in the saddle bronc riding, #1 in the all-around. He's up at Calgary. You could have watched him up there earlier this afternoon. Of course, you can watch him again in Calgary tomorrow afternoon. By the way, that'll be the completion of the first pool in Calgary tomorrow. So the thing is, Calgary got underway 2 days ago. Katie, I know you think a lot of that rodeo being a Canadian, but the first 2 days, it did not disappoint any at all.
Especially for 3 contestants in particular that are back-to-back champions day after day here at the Calgary Stampede. 3 of them have gotten off to really strong starts, including Garrett Shadwell in the bareback riding, who has some ground to make up. He's in the low 30s in the PRCA world standings, but 2 go-round victories at the Calgary Stampede will go a long ways to shooting them up those standings.
Yeah, it definitely will. When you win the first 2 rounds in your pool, that guarantees you into the finals, and that's what you want to do. And for Garrett, yeah, he hadn't been competing a bunch. He had that injury, and we haven't seen him since early in the year. Jesse Brown, same story. A couple of big checks for him. He split day 1 with Bridger Anderson, but then comes back today with a 4-2. That's the fastest run that we've seen so far in Calgary after the first 2 rounds of competition in this first pool. But yeah, another back-to-back win for him.
Back-to-back wins as well for Haven Medjid. He split round 1 with a 7-8. Round 2 comes back with a huge 7-flat run to win it outright. He's won over $13,000, more than double what #2 has won in the pool, so he has guaranteed himself a spot in Championship Sunday at the Calgary Stampede. It is the top 3 after 3 runs that will move on at the Calgary Stampede. So tomorrow, in the final day of their performance, it is do or die for the contestants that are yet to move up.
There's a look at your event leaders after 2 days of competition in Calgary. Remember, it's the same contestants for 3 days. Then Pool B will roll in there on Monday. They'll compete for 3 days. Then Pool C, same story. You look at Haven Medjid. I want to go back to him for just a moment. If you watch the broadcast from Calgary yesterday, he mentioned this during his interview that when you're in that first pool at Calgary, I believe we shared this with you guys on the first night of Shoot Around, or maybe it was earlier in the week in Western Sports Roundup, you don't really get a big 4th of July rodeo run down here in the States, because with that pool starting early like it did this year on Friday night, that let a guy like Haven Medjid only go to a couple rodeos, but he made it count when he went to those couple rodeos. I believe it was Red Lodge, Montana, that we watched him win down here in the States before he went up to Calgary.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see how these Cowboys have to change their game plan year after year. Even when a leap year comes into play, that totally throws the schedule out of whack. We had Tim O'Connell, I believe it was last year or the year before on Shoot Around, talking about that because it was a leap year, and that completely changed how he had to enter the 4th. But Calgary, of course, it slides down a day year after year, and then we'll sort of reset and move up to that very first couple days in July, and that completely changes their schedules. And like you said, Cowboys like Haven Medjid that draw up in that first pool, they've got to capitalize.
They sure do. You can watch the Calgary Stampede, the round 3 of this first pool tomorrow afternoon right here on Cowboy Channel. Shoot Around is going to continue. You can see Oakley, Utah has gotten underway. We'll try to get out there here in just a moment. Kilder, North Dakota, well, they've been racking up some big numbers there in the rough stock events. There's our summer rodeo run, 187 performances we're bringing you, whether it's on broadcast or on Cowboy Plus. There's your 20% off promo code at the top of your screen. Shoot Around continues in just a moment. American back earlier this spring. That is Ricky Ingesser. This was just moments ago. Rodeo in Kilder, North Dakota. She ties for the lead. Look at how fast it was. Watch this, 1.8 seconds. Yeah, that kind of runs like that helped her get the win at the American.
Yeah, what a great run from Ricky Ingesser. 1.8. She ties Madison Uthier, who was holding down the lead in Kilder in the breakaway roping, but now she's going to have to share that win at the Kilder Mountain Roundup. But we got a lot of rodeo action that we want to get to. I feel like we're really starting to speed things up on Shoot Around, so we're going to hop into Oakley for their Independence Day rodeo. The steer wrestling has a world champion in the mix tonight.
All right.
A solid run to start us out, 4.7 seconds. Yeah, right now, John, you're kind of looking like a Happy Meal.
I can supersize it for 35 cents.
No, stop. You weirdo.
Does this make you hungry?
No. Jeez.
Dude, you need a red hat. I should have brought you a red hat
No,
tonight.
we're okay. This Resistol's just fine.
Well, this is a Resistol, too. Resistol's where it's at, but, like, they make it in red for us patriotic people.
Okay. Well, mine is actually shaped properly.
Oh. Well, yeah. Just because you get to work indoors and I'm outside working.
Okay. Yeah, it's tough being a rodeo clown. Doing your makeup can be taxing.
You have no idea. Me and my wife fight over eyeliner. You don't understand.
Let's go to Jake Stocking from Salina, Utah.
Utah!
Wilderness Circuit Cowboy and stand out.
Booyah!
Talk to him. 4.5 seconds and Jake is in the money.
This is honestly, just so everybody knows, this is my favorite event in pro rodeo. Of all the events, this is my best one. This is the best one to watch. There's more wrecks in this, I think, than there is even in bull riding.
Is that what you're looking for, is violence?
Well, I mean, everybody goes to NASCAR. You want to see the winner, but who wants to go to NASCAR without seeing a little wreck every once in a while?
Okay. Fair enough. Speaking of wrecks, I want to say a big thank you to our EMS and sheriff sponsor. That is Mount Dentistry, located in Park City, specializing in implants and restoration for your teeth, as well as preventative care. Dr. Scott Kimchi and his wife Stephanie, thank you so much.
They would be busy in southeast Oklahoma, that's for sure. Do you have any implants?
Let's go to Chance Howard.
That's crossing the line.
Chance Howard went to his very first National Finals rodeo last year. Stanislaus, Oklahoma Cowboy. Last year I watched him win the gold medal at the Salt Lake City, Utah Days of 47 rodeo. Needs to find a win right here in Oakley. Got a chance.
Oh, no.
What? Is that steer English? What is going on? That steer was uncooperative and loves tea.
He got away.
I like my coffee black and my tea in a harbor.
Hey.
America. There's more where that came from, people.
Anybody here tonight from England? All right, let's pick on them.
Oh, I was sweating for a second, not because of jacket.
Or France.
Hey, France was our friends.
What?
When we told them we were going to battle with England, they were like, say when. Listen, I've been watching a lot of historical documentaries the last 2 weeks.
You have been watching TV.
I love this country, and I love watching this cowboy from Vernal, Utah, Chet Boren.
Dinosaur country.
Yeah. The dinosaur roundup in Vernal, Utah happened a couple weeks ago. These Cowboys, what's that?
You believe in dinosaurs?
Yes, I do.
Well, I just ask it. It's not funny. Like some people don't.
Well, who doesn't believe in dinosaurs?
I got a question. Do you believe that we just went around the moon?
Do we believe that we went around the moon? We go around the moon every day.
No, I'm talking about, did we send 4 people in a shuttle around the moon and come back to Earth?
Yes.
They were FaceTiming us from the other side of the moon. Meanwhile, I'm at the Dollar General on FaceTime, and I drop my wife trying to figure out what she needs. Like, no signal.
Ooh. Well.
That steer's like, who's your daddy now?
Fans, just look at that steer trot out of the arena. It's like it probably doesn't matter anyway.
I know, he looks like Eeyore. He's going slow.
I love the animals that we have in rodeo. Every one of them's got personality. I love it. I did not like that for Chet.
Flip phone, ma'am. Can I help you? What happened? Hey, ma'am. What happened? Here. Can I? Hey, ma'am. Hello. Hey, did someone lose a phone? Oh, I can help you with that.
Oh no! Why did you give him the phone?
Yes. Oh my goodness! She's a self-portrait. She's a narcissist.
What?
Oh, but she's kind of cute too.
Okay, stop.
What?
Call Mayfield. He's 22 years old. He won Rodeo Santa Fe last week. From Midwest Wyoming, the Cowboy State. I do not know why you have that phone.
Well, she has a passcode, so she's insecure about what she's hiding.
Okay.
Which I don't
Try
believe her.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, I'm going to. Like, it keeps locking up. This is great.
Here's call. Oh, no. The Steers have a plan, and they have stuck to it. And they say, freedom!
Freedom! Hey.
The bovines are united.
Someone has lost their phone. 1, 2, 3, 4 was wrong.
Try
give me one more.
1776.
What, 1776? It's your phone? That is not your phone, sir. There was a young lady on here. Is it you? What are you showing me your ring for? I can't see the ring on here. It's nothing but the face. Whatever. Keep going.
Okay, jeez. Making friends at every turner.
That's right. That's what I do.
Turn the page to Jacob Edler, the world champion cowboy from Alva, Oklahoma, by way of the corn-fed state of Iowa.
Yes. We are
he
taking
slings
pictures.
tires at H&E Tires. He slings steers, and none were better in 2020 when he won the NFR Championship and the World Championship. He just won North Platte, Nebraska, so he's got some momentum on this Cowboy Christmas. It is the richest 8 days. The richest 8 days in all of pro rodeo throughout our entire season that lasts from October 1st to the end of September each and every year. Want to keep up to date with everything going on? Go to ProRodeo.com.
Oh, yeah. Oh, dang it.
And another steer just trotting out of the arena. And so,
Yes.
did they not realize they were on the bottom of the food chain?
Right. Well, I mean, grass.
Beef.
The steers don't read your gold buckle that says world champion on it. Jacob Edler having a little trouble there in Oakley City, Oakley, Utah. We're going to jump out of the steer wrestling there. Again, if you want to keep watching it, check it out on Cowboy Plus. Let's get over to Livingston, Montana. They're underway. Steve Kenyon announces that rodeo. You heard from him earlier tonight. Let's get to him in the bareback riding.
National Finals Rodeo. Comes from the Bailey Rodeo Company out of North Dakota. Here's the number 7 man in the Montana circuit. A college national finalist for Clarendon College in Texas. Levitt Insurance Bucking Chute. Keep spurring. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a 19-year-old kid from Montana. And that 19-year-old kid from Montana is now tied for the number 1 spot at the Livingston Roundup, 87 points. Wow. Somebody's got to be 87.5 or 88. Maybe it'll be Ty Owens from Helena. Here's another Montanan. Number 4 in the Montana circuit. Skitter Pop of the Silver Creek. Levitt Insurance Group Bucking Chute. This man you're about to watch, one of a couple of cousins out of his family. 4-time Montana Circuit finalist. Won a go-around with an 86. Won the rodeo in Bismarck, North Dakota. They've been 85.5 on this horse. But he got in trouble right off the bat. He's right in front of you, folks. He's a Montanan. All he's going to get tonight is whatever you choose to dust his Wranglers off with. That's a no score. Tonight, folks, we're sponsored by Yellowstone Brokers, Jackie Wickens, Tracy Wheat Hughes, Ranch, Recreational, and Home Properties. If you're at your first rodeo, that rigging on the horse's back, for 100-plus years, rodeo announcers have been calling it a rawhide suitcase handle. That's not a perfect analogy, but it's pretty close. They got a big, thick glove on their riding hand. They wedge that big, thick glove into that rigging. That's all they get to hold on to. I want to say thank you to the Arthur M. Blank Foundation, which has got 120 people visiting us tonight. For their support of the Livingston Roundup, you see a bunch of folks wearing shirts with the AMB West logo. Our grand entry sponsor tonight. That's part of the AMB family. Ouster at Dome Mountain, year-round gathering place in the heart of Paradise Valley. Okay, take it down to the old saloon. Jake Kessel, Tindoy, Idaho. Horse called Hypnotic, Silver Creek Rodeo. Keep spurring. That man was 87.5 last August in Bozeman, an NFR Open qualifier. That's $1 million rodeo that'll happen later this month. Colorado Springs, it's a championship event of the PRCA circuit system, of which the Montana circuit is a part. 75.5 for Jake Kessel. 75.5. All right, let's try it again. With a young man who has got a heck of a future ahead of him. In his rookie year in the Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association, he sits in the number 3 spot in the Resist All Rookie of the Year race. He also is one of the top 25 money winners in all of pro rodeo. If you've been coming to the Livingston Roundup for a lot of years, you might have watched his uncle ride in this arena. That's the 6-time world champion named Casey Field. This is Daxton Field. His uncle is a 6-time gold buckle winner. His grandfather, the legend Louis Fields, a 5-time gold buckle winner. Red Sunset Bailey Rodeo Company. He's 3rd in the rookie race. He's 26 in the world. Just won the College National Finals title for Tarleton State University. Over the last 3 weeks, he's been 89 in Darby, Montana, 84 in Harriman, Utah, 88 in Killeen, Texas. We're in the Ranchi Riata's bucking chute. His dad and his uncle wouldn't let him start riding bareback horses until he celebrated his 16th birthday. So he's only been doing what you just watched him do for 3 years. Folks, you remember that boy's name. He's going to be around a while, Daxton Field. And an 81.5 for Daxton. 81.5.
That is part of the bareback riding taking place at Livingston, Montana right now, but we want to hop out of that bareback riding right quick because there's a couple other gentlemen that are getting ready behind the buck and chutes at Livingston, Montana. That is our Bronc riders that we've been following all evening long, Damian Brennan and Brody Wells. Damian, I want to start with you. Just moments ago, we saw you guys leaving Cody in the airplane. I've got one question. Did you get to fly the plane any at all on the way to Livingston?
No, I didn't. I wish. It was actually a little bumpy coming over. He had a bit of wind, so there was no way I was getting a hold of the steering wheel or plane wheel, whatever you want to call it.
Guys, just take us inside the rig a little bit here. What has it truly been like? You've been riding through the ups and downs that can be the 4th of July. As best you can describe it, what has this day been for you?
Roller coaster. I mean, I was 88 in Red Lodge, and then 76 in Cody. So that's rodeo for you. You can, it doesn't. The horses don't care who you are, or if it's your hometown or 1,000 miles away. They don't care. So yeah, it's just part of it. But it's been fun. It's a long day. By the end of this day, we're putting our gear up. We're worn out, but it's fun, and look forward to it every year.
Damian, when we shared the video earlier, when you guys had left Red Lodge on your way to Cody, you were kind of joking around a little bit about that horse kind of getting the best of you there in Red Lodge. But honestly, that's the kind of mentality you have to have, right? Like, yeah, you wanted to win something there, but it didn't go your way. Now you had to reset and try to do better at Cody. You're now trying to do better at Livingston. That's the mindset you have to have in it, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Like Wellesley just said, rodeo is such a roller coaster, and when you're hot sometimes. But yeah, you just got to ride the wave of it. Yeah, got dusted there, and then I was 83 and haven't really won much money here. But tonight here in Livingston, I'm going to show up. I'm going to be ready to win. So you just got to be ready every time you nod your head.
Hey, you guys are arena side right now. You're about to go get on. Give us just a quick preview of what's to come for you tonight in your final stop.
Big rides and big scores. So you're just going to go out there and get a good sprout, do what we can, and control the controllables, and go show off a little bit and see if they like it.
Finish on a good note. That's the plan.
That's the plan anyway. Hopefully the plan works out. Guys, go get on your Bronc. Thank y'all so much for letting us follow you around today. This has been an absolute blast to literally get in the truck and get in the plane with you guys and travel around to 3 rodeos. Damian, thank you. Brody, thank you, and good luck tonight in Livingston.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to send them out. One more ride for them tonight in Livingston. It's going to be exciting. As they said, they've been handling the ups and downs that not only just the 4th of July, but that rodeo can bring you on the trail.
How much are those guys want to lay down and take a nap tonight after this is all over with when they get done in Livingston, no matter if they win or not? That's why we wanted to share this story with you fans at home, because, folks, think about this. That's just one day of competition that we just shared with you. Those guys competing in 3 rodeos today. Think of all the rodeo contestants across the country and Canada as well that are doing that exact same thing. Sure, maybe not all of them are competing in 3 rodeos. You don't do that every day, but you sure might compete in a couple and over about an 8-10 day period.
If you're a Cowboy Channel fan, though, you can easily watch 3 rodeos every single day on our Cowboy Plus app. We hope you grab that app. CIJ 2026 will get you 20% off for Christmas in July. You can catch every moment on Cowboy Plus. We'll be back. The summer rodeo run continues here on Shoot Around.
We want to get you right back into Livingston, Montana. We jumped out of the bareback riding moments ago. Let's get you back in for the world champ.
Just happens to be a world champion in professional rodeo. Keenan Hayes from Colorado. Prairie Circuit Finals horse from the Silver Creek called Little Big Man. Already been 84 in this arena on that horse. In 2023, that man you just watched was the Resistol Rookie of the Year, the average winner at the NFR, and the world champion. Injured in 2024. And let's take a look at the numbers. Hey, folks, the world champion just made it a 4-way tie. Oh, wait a minute. Hey, Keenan, the judges just redid the math. I was going to tell you were 87, and the judges checked the arithmetic. Ladies and gentlemen, Keenan Hayes just pulled off a walk-off win at the Livingston Roundup. 89 points. Chappell's Auto Body, thank you. An auto body experience.
So there was a three-way tie at the top. Keenan Hayes jumped in and they thought it was then a four-way tie at the top, but they rechecked the numbers that were coming in from the judges. Keenan Hayes, and now your champion leading the way.
And that guy's having such a great year. Remember, we watched him win the world title back in 2023. Then he was out with injury for a big part of last year, but boy, he is back this season, well inside the top 10 in the world standings. And of course, a big win there at Livingston. That's going to help his case for sure. I want to take you back to Oakley City. We were just doing bareback riding in Livingston. Let's go back to Oakley, Utah, and I want to show you a ride that just took place moments ago in the saddle bronc riding. In fact, he was the last guy to go on the final night of Oakley. They got an Extreme Bulls event there tomorrow, but the final regular rodeo event night, Tanner Butner on Larry Culpepper. That is the horse they won this event on a year ago. Same horse comes back again in Oakley, this time with Tanner Butner aboard to get the win.
And we see so many Cowboys go to the top of the leaderboard on that horse, but it's not because he's easy to ride. He is big, he's strong, he's long-bodied. He really takes some big strides and a lot of power in every single jump for Larry Culpepper. So it is a huge feat to win a rodeo on him, but he is the one you want to draw to go to the top.
And that's exactly what you have to capitalize on. I talked about that earlier in the show, where these rodeo contestants try to really capitalize on the stock draw that they have at these different rodeos. Tanner Butner doing exactly that in Oakley tonight to edge out Stetson Wright, who had the lead coming into this final performance. Now Tanner Butner going to get the win there in Oakley. We've got more wins to share with you tonight on Shoot Around. You see the rodeos taking place. The West Coast rodeos are getting underway, or I say West Coast, West time zone, I mean, out there. Prescott, Arizona is now underway for its second performance of the day. St. Paul, same story there. We'll try to get to those here in just a little bit. Basin City, Washington as well. All that and more coming your way when we return on Shoot Around.
Well, it's pretty darn fitting that on the 4th of July, we're going to head to the Basin City Freedom Rodeo. They've got a short roster of contestants in the bareback riding tonight, but man, there are some big names, including the traveling group of R.C. Lanningham and Jacob Lees.
From Tim Bridwell's Buckenstock, a horse named Socket. 87 in Prineville this year. 83 and a half in Stony Brook, California. R.C. Just went to them tonight to start out the Horse Heaven Roundup bareback riding. The rematch that he was eager to make it happen here tonight. Number 7 man in the world looks for an exit strategy courtesy of the Spur Ag pickup men. And while he gets set down in front of the buck and shoots, it's time to send the crowd into an uproar. Brand new leader. 86 points. But if you thought that rematch was great, wait till you get a load of this. The number 2 man in the world today and a 2-time champion of the Basin City Freedom Rodeo is back. Jacob Lees, Caldwell, Idaho, the husband and father, 29 years young, has got the NFR bucking horse of Bridwell's named Buster. And rematched from 2 years ago in Livermore, California. What did he do in the Golden State? 87 and a half. That's what he's going to need to go to the top. Gas it, Jacob. 2023, he would win your rodeo. It wouldn't be until 2025 that he would come back and tie the arena record at 86. He do 1 year later, how about set a brand new arena record? 89 points for Lee. That number 2 man in the world is now number 1 in the Columbia Basin, and he is a 3-time champion of the Freedom Rodeo. We'll send him down alongside Clay Noel. We'll get a hero.
How about that for a timely update for the man that sits number 2 in the world standings, Jacob Lees, and you just heard Garrison tell you the story there in Basin City as it happened. R.C. Landingham right before that took over the lead. By the way, those guys are rodeoing together. We talked with them the first night of Chute around here on the show, and then Jacob Lees comes right behind him, shatters the arena record that he had tied last year to get the win. Now he gets the outright win and now a brand new record.
Yeah, always so exciting when two guys that are in a rig like that can go 1 and 2. You know that that drive a little later tonight that I'm sure they're about to take is going to be a lot more filled with energy, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But the action continues there at the Basin City Freedom Rodeo. We're going to actually fast forward a little bit and pop back in to see a little bit of the steer wrestling tonight.
We get ready to watch the first steer wrestler back in the box, chasing the world champ Tucker Allen's 3.8. This is Touche Washington's Chance Gardner, or Tushy, if you'd rather.
Are we back to that again?
Tushy Washington. I'm not going to touch it any more than that. 3 times Columbia River Circuit finalist for Gardner. 1 win this season already at Mountain Home, Idaho. Come to a stop, hit that drop. Ooh, there you go. Just needed to apply his big boy muscles a little bit there at the end. 10-8 for Chance. And we'll stay in the Evergreen State. We get ready to watch Colin Wolf. Wenatchee, Washington, the hometown for an 8-time Columbia River Circuit finalist. If you've joined us in previous nights, you've heard us talk a lot about this being a part of the CINCH playoffs. The Governor's Cup Rodeo being the crown jewel of that playoffs. You've got to go through the top 60 rodeos in the nation. You earn points, hope to go play in Puyallup, Washington. And if you do well there, you're guaranteed a spot in Sioux Falls, South Dakota at the CINCH Playoffs Governor's Cup Rodeo. But we've also talked a lot about the circuit system. And your rodeo being a member of the Columbia River Circuit Finals. Colin Wolf is looking to make his 9th trip to Redmond, Oregon when this season's said and done. Is doing it already with a win at Tonasket, Washington this year. Could he go 2 for 2 in the Evergreen State, his home state, winning the Basin City Freedom Rodeo? 3-7 or better, and a 3-7 would tie you for the arena record in our short history of being a pro rodeo, now in our 5th year of being a professional rodeo. Once again, a member of that CINCH Playoffs tour. Hey! Whoa! He didn't just clock a 3-7. He just smoked the arena record. 3.6.
Oh. We're witnessing history, everybody.
And I can guarantee you that we will see the victor throughout tonight's performance in the steer wrestling, as that 3-6 is going to be contested by some very tough individuals coming up. But right now, a brand new arena record. You're going to have to best it by 1/10 of a second. Justin Kimsey of Kennewick, Washington. 3-5 or better is what we're going to have to see now.
We got some Kennewick people in the house. Where's my Kennewick people? Yeah. They represent pretty good out here.
Standing O Ranch, Rowley and Hawkins Fruit Farm Steer Wrestling. Just got a whole lot more exciting with the Washington native. Clocking the fastest run of the weekend. Now time for a fellow Washington native from just down the road a little ways. This is about as close to a home field advantage as he's going to get until he competes at the Horse Heaven Roundup. So a little bit of fan power is not going to hurt things. Dish out a left hook. And serving that steer up on a platter tonight, 6-9.
Man, every steer we run now, that 3.6 looks like lightning, bro. Wow.
How many things can you do in 3.6 seconds? I mean, you can't even tie your shoes
No, you
in
can't do a lot.
3.6.
No, there's definitely not a lot of things. Now,
Brian can eat a whole tub of cinnamon butter in 3.6 seconds. But
we don't want to know about that. My 4-year-old can do a lot in 3.6 seconds.
Yeah, get into a whole lot of trouble, probably.
I tell him no about that 100 times that past. Jeepers.
You have a 4-year-old. Do you have any other children?
Yeah, I got 4 kids, 4 boys.
4 total?
Yeah. That's way too many kids. If somebody's looking for some kids, I got some, I'll tell you, okay?
Why not just send them up on top of the grassy hill?
Yeah, that's a
the
good
free
way. We got
daycare
free child care up there. That's the way to go up there. Man. Hey, you know what I read the other day, though, in an article?
What's that?
Which was weird.
You read in an
and
article.
You might agree with this. I'm not totally sure, okay?
Okay.
But I read women should not have kids after 40. What? What do you think about that?
I'd be inclined to agree, maybe.
I tend to agree with it because 40 kids is way too many.
Okay.
Stop having kids.
Not where I thought you were going with that.
They don't make minivans that big.
No. At that point, you better just buy a bus.
Yeah. All right.
Gavin Swallow, hot off his first trip to the NFR last December. Champion of the short round at Corpus Christi, the Buck Days, Bunkie, Louisiana. Bunkie, Louisiana man clocks a 5-1 for the number 13 steer wrestler in the world today. And he is actually number 12 at our rodeo with a 5-1. Gus McGinn, Haines, Oregon. Gustus, his legal full name. Better known as Gus by his buddies, the Haines, Oregon 2-time Columbia River Circuit finalist. Dismounts, lays one down. And clock's going to read flat to move him to number 11 overall. All right, let's find out if anybody's got any rhythm out in the grandstands. Come on, slap them hands together.
This is that ice cold Michelle fight for that white gold. This one for them hood girls, them good girls. Straight
Come on.
to be styling, wildin', living it up in the city. Got Chuck's on with Saint Laurent. Gotta kiss myself, I'm so pretty. I'm too hot.
Yeah. Hey, if the person next to you is not clapping your hands, Garrison said you could punch him in the stomach for me, okay? Oh. Look, they go all the way up the hill, dude. This is great. I love this. Keep it going. Feel it.
Girl, sit you hallelujah. Girl, sit you hallelujah. 'Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. 'Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. 'Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you.
Hey, there might be a best dress right there.
Don't believe me, just
You're spotting them already?
Yeah, look it on the screen. Oh, it's gone.
Made you look. 2019, the man back into the box would leave Viva Las Vegas with a gold buckle.
How about that? Just all kinds of arena records taking place up there in Basin City, Washington. And, of course, world champion Ty Erickson backing in the box there. That's one of those rodeos. If you want to watch it all, you can go to Cowboy Plus. Check it out there in Basin City, Washington. That rodeo's Freedom Rodeo in Basin City. That's pretty fitting for the 4th of July, isn't it?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Ty. And a lot of excitement there. Actually, 3 arena records, and there's still more to come. We could see even more arena records broken at the Basin City Rodeo. We'll be right back on Shoot Around with just a few more moments of rodeo action. Stay with us. going to do a little rodeo replay right now, heading to the Kilder Mountain Roundup PRCA Rodeo. Lisa Lockhart is leading the barrel racing action right now with a 16-58. Let's take a look.
And when you see the yellow hat coming down the alley, you know it is Summer Kozel time. Summer, this is her great horse, Apollo. Earlier this morning, they drove all the way from Montana just to be with a packed crowd in Kilder. Let's run them to the right first. Great first barrel. 2 more to go. There is one rule. When we cross that third barrel, Kilder, you gotta help. Oh, how about a 16:39? 16:39. That's the fastest run of the rodeo. Oh, it took Garrison's breath away. Katie Russo, Fairfield, North Dakota. Badlands Circuit Finals. She placed 5th here last year with a 17:31. Think about what just happened. 16:39's on top. Her horse Shameless coming down the track. There is something to say, though. You made a point around that third barrel. The louder these people get, the faster these horses are going to run. Let her have it.
I just came down from Chippewa, had a station wagon and $100, thinking about the girl I'd lost a year before.
Final turn, send her to the house. And a 17:04, 17:04 for Katie Russo, Fairfield, North Dakota. She just keeps getting faster in this arena and faster. But now, to the Cowboy capital of the world in Stephenville, Texas, the Carlton State grad, Skylar Sutton. Next lady to run for you. Oh, the Sorrel and her are going to team up, going to the right first. You watch this blonde lady. Now she'll switch hands in the reins. Horse switch leads. One more barrel and Kilder. Let's drop the clutch. It's 17:43. 17:43 for the Stephenville, Texas lady. So now it's time to go to the secretary of the Kilder Saddle Club. Her name is Emmy Doctor. Dinoff, North Dakota. Dickinson State University proud as she is on the buckskin. Cheer for a local cowgirl tonight, if you will. Come on, Emmy. Oh, it's still up. Keep going. And a 17:51 for Emmy Doctor. Lone Star State of Texas, Gardendale, Texas, Molly Harper. Originally from Australia. Let's try it. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Yeah, a few of you got it. Rodeos at Odessa College. I'm making her home in Gardendale, Texas. We're liking that. Right barrel first. Now you go to the left. Tight corners. I know we got a barrel, but don't let her lead. Feel it down. Come on. 1694 plus 5 makes it 21-94 for Molly Harper. Sells go to Wills Point, Texas. Sierra Scott Williams to the track next. The champion from Jacksonville, Texas earlier this year. Wearing the leopard print. Stepping around that first barrel. 2 standing, 1 more to go. You know the drill.
And a 1761 for Sierra Scott Williams. So the tractor's going to come in.
How about Summer Kosel and Apollo getting the lead, knocking the winningest lady cowgirl of all time, Lisa Lockhart. And, of course, congratulations to Summer and her great horse. We watched them at the National Finals Rodeo before, and you just watched them in Kilder, North Dakota. Get the win there, the championship in Kilder, because that rodeo ends tonight.
Yeah, I have loved this episode of Shoot Around. We've crowned so many champions tonight, and we're going to continue the celebration on the other side of this break as we wrap up Shoot Around presented by CINCH. We are back once more on Shoot Around presented by CINCH, the final episode of our 2026 edition of this great show. And I don't know about you, Ty, but my favorite moment of the night was getting the opportunity to hop in the rig with Damian Brennan and Brody Wells. That was so much fun for me to truly feel what it's like to be on the fourth run.
I couldn't agree more with that. That was a lot of fun to get to share that experience with you fans. For me, over the 3 days, I want to take you all the way back to Thursday night. Riley Webb setting the arena record at Oakley. After a tough week that he had with his family, we shared that news with you that he did lose his granddad earlier in the week, and to be able to have that state of mind and come back and do that in the arena record at Oakley, that's big stuff.
Well, let's get to our CINCH top 5 moments as well. There were some big ones. It was hard to decide, but we're going to start off with number 5. Jake Finlay gets the win at Belle Fourche, the Black Hills Roundup. And the most exciting part of the story, he almost didn't go. He was not quite doubled up, but it was going to be pretty close to get from Belle Fourche to Mandan. You wouldn't be able to drive between the two. He decided at the last minute he was going to charter a plane and go to Belle Fourche, and man, that was a good decision because he's your champ.
And that bucking horse took out the gate guy. On top of that, right there at the beginning of the ride, let's go to number 4 of our top 5 rides presented by CINCH. You just watched it moments ago. It was Summer Kosel getting the win at Kilder, but let's keep it on the ladies' 5 for just a moment. Ricky Ingesser, also the Breakaway Rope and co-champion there at Kilder. You witnessed both of those runs. There's a look at Ricky and that super fast 1-second run that she had at Kilder. She's going to be the co-champion. Summer is going to get the outright win in Kilder in the barrel racing with that 16-39.
At number 3, we're talking a pair of walk-off wins this evening. Keenan Hayes, we saw his 89-point ride in Livingston. There was, they said at first, a 4-way tie for him in that event, but then they rechecked the math on the judges' sheet, and he is your outright winner in Livingston. Also, Tanner Butner had a huge ride in Oakley, 89 points for him. We've got to look at this ride, Ty, one more time on Larry Culpepper.
That horse is so good. Now, as you mentioned, Katie, when we watched this ride earlier, he's one of those you cannot mess up on. You can't stub your toe. Tanner Butner didn't stub his toe. He got the win there in Oakley City. Colin Wolfe, just moments ago, we witnessed this in Basin City, Washington. That is a new arena record in the steer wrestling there. Lots of arena records were set this year in Basin City. Colin got that done with a 3-6, and we were glad to get to share that with you here on Shoot Around.
John Douch also set a new arena record in the tie-down roping. That was in slack, but also right before we saw Colin Wolfe's arena record, we saw a new arena record in the bareback riding by Jacob Lees. He actually held a shared split anyway of the record previously. He decided, nah, I would like it all for myself. Raised the bar even more in Basin City, 89 points. The most exciting story too, him and his traveling partner R.C. Landingham barely made it to that event, and then go ahead and go 1-2 in Basin City.
Folks, we want to remind you that next week on Western Sports Roundup, you better be tuned in here to Cowboy Channel, because obviously there's going to be lots of stories coming out of this 4th of July weekend and this entire week, to be honest with you. A lot of that will get recapped. We'll interview and talk to a lot of the winners over the 4th of July. We'll have a lot of the numbers in on how the money fell together. Be sure and tune in next week on Western Sports Roundup.
We've mentioned it a lot this week on Shoot Around. It has been absolute controlled chaos, but it is controlled because of all of the great people that work behind the scenes. You can see many heads back there in our control room watching everything, watching up to 8 rodeos at a time. Big thank you to our Cowboy Channel crew for making this happen. Ty McClary and I could not do it without you.
Yeah, big thank you to everybody here at Cowboy Channel to bring this show to you here over the last 3 days. Folks, it's a big day in our great great country that we live in as we celebrate America and its birthday for 250 years. Katie, this has been a fun show to bring to you fans, and it's going to continue to be a big night. There's the red, white, and blue that Anthony Lucia had on at Oakley tonight. That's the way you celebrate. Fireworks are about to take off all over the country. For Katie Lucas, I'm Ty McClary, our entire crew. Thanks for watching Shoot Around. Happy birthday, America.
Cowboy Channel thanks you for watching this presentation of the Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association.